I couldn't tell you why, but this is one of my favourite gaming memories. And I think it's just because it transported me to that world for the first time. For the first time I was in control of the cartoon. But I would hear it every single time I would go to the seaside, above the sound of the ocean, and the other kids playing. The sound of the arcade. And when I went into the arcade, there would always be a certain game I'd look for. I don't know what it was about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I will say to you now, it's probably my favourite game of all time. It might have been just because I was such a fan as a kid, or it just sort of captivated something in. Creativity was boundless, and you could capture something that you experienced as part of a show going out into a different medium, and take control of those heroes that you watch and you looked up to. It's just something about that that's captivated me to this day. Having the ability now to go back and experience those games has not diminished that experience whatsoever. So guys, today we are going to be talking about amazing 90s arcade games and how to play them using Launchbox and MAME. Hi guys, and welcome to Blind Man Plays. I'm Jared Walters, and for today's video we are going to be looking at getting MAME and arcade games set up on your PC using Launchbox. Now, Launchbox has been updated recently, and I want to say thank you to ETA Prime for all his tutorial videos. Go check him out because he does do some fantastic tutorial videos on how to do these types of things, and that's where I get a lot of my sort of setup from. So first of all, what you need to do is we need to download a ROM set. Now there are several places on the internet where you can get these ROM sets, but what we need to take account of is the actual version of the ROM set. Now if you have a ROM set already downloaded, it might be worth updating, but in some of these ROM sets, I think you can get like separate or merged. I've actually got the merged version. In order to import this accurately, you need to know what version of the ROM set you have. So what I've done here is in my ROM set, I've found there's a README file. And in the README file, it's given me the version, which is 0.251. We need to know what that is because we need to be able to tell Launchbox what version of MAME that we have. Now the other thing that we need to do is we need to copy our ROMs into a folder in Launchbox so it's all sort of in the same place. So under Launchbox, wherever your Launchbox installation is, remember you can download Launchbox from the Launchbox website. I put my Launchbox on an external drive because I like to have all my emulation basically on an external drive so I can just use it whenever, and it doesn't affect my main PC, and I can use it on other devices as well, so that gives me that sort of freedom to be able to do that. So basically what you do then, once you've transported all your ROMs into or extracted all your ROMs into that folder, then you need to bring up Launchbox. Go to the main menu, go to Tools, go to Import, and MAME. And that will bring up the MAME import wizard. So you just click Next. In the box there, you want to make sure it says Arcade. That's what you're doing. And enter the folder of which you've put your ROMs into. So go to Launchbox, Arcade, which is what I set up. And you need to select the version. This is where I had the most up-to-date version for when I'm doing this, which is January 2023. And you want to click the first setting on the next one, which is to automatically configure the ROMs. It says, please wait while download and install the configuration MAME for you. Now, the brilliant thing about this is, and I found out, is actually configures the joystick inputs as well, the joypad inputs. So you don't have to go through and configure your if you're using an Xbox One controller or a PlayStation controller, which is basically a controller that's mapped on the Xbox framework but just matched to PlayStation. Basically it's going to work right out of the box for you. Okay, now this import process might take some time depending on how big your ROM set is. Once that's done, you can connect to the Launchbox leaderboard if you want to. You can sign up and sort of compare your scores online with other people who are playing MAME. I've got no interest in this, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm a solitary gamer, I always have been, not a big fan of the online game, although I'll play it now and again. Would you like to download the metadata? You just click yes, tick the box and click yes, and it'll tell you all the metadata it's going to download for the games for you. Once that's finished, it'll tell you everything that you need, or everything it's going to get for you. You click next, and it'll basically tick all the boxes. Click next again. It'll also ask you, do you want the bezels? And I always just click next on that. And then there's some options here. So just make sure that these are options for like eliminating casino games and that sort of thing. So this is like some options that you need to have. So the default region, I've put Europe because I'm basically in Europe. A lot of people go for North America. I default to 2-player rather than 4-player. And then you've got some options there. So you got skip games that are playable in MAME, skip bootleg games. You have a look at some of these options and tick and untick the ones you want. Like you want to skip like casino games and things like that, because you don't really want to play bandits. Well, you could if you want to, but most people don't really want to play your sort of bandit type games, but they will run on the same system. And you just again look through some of these options here. Now this option here, where it says about creating playlists, this is really, really good. Where you can actually create playlists for different things, because that will actually, on the sidebar of Launchbox, if you look on the sidebar, it will actually give the option to look at different playlists. Where it says platform on the sidebar, you can actually click on arcade when arcade comes up, and then you can click on instead of that drop down box that says platform, you can actually click playlist, and you can see like all the Capcom games will be grouped together, all the Sega games will be grouped together, etc, etc. So just again go through these options carefully, consider what you want and what you don't want. And then just so basically sort of go from there. And it says please wait while they're basically compiling all the ME games, etc. This will take a while, and this did take a little while. And once that's done, it'll bring up a list of all the games, and then click finish. And Launchbox is going to literally go ahead then and configure all those for you. And once that's done, you can see it's still doing it, but you'll notice now there is a section on the left hand side click which is called arcade. And if you look here, you can go into platform and you go down to playlist, and there's all your playlists there that have been that's been added. Launchbox in the background is still populating all my metadata, but I can literally look through the different playlists and find games there. So let's have a look at some MAME games. Just a quick interlude, guys. I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, for liking the videos, for your brilliant and amazing comments and feedback. that you've offered me over the course of the last couple of months in doing this. I set the arbitrary goal of 100 subscribers by the end of January, and we are literally 4 subscribers away. When I suggested 100 subscribers, I never ever thought I would get that far. I aim to upload every Wednesday and Sunday on this channel, and we'll continue to produce videos which I hope you guys will like. If you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below, or things you might like to see, any systems you want me to explore, any how-tos you want me to do. And if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe. I just thank you so much. I'm so grateful and so humble. Thank you guys. And yeah, let's carry on. Let's crack on with the video. This is Ridge Racer. This is the Ridge Racer that was ported to the original PlayStation. As you can see, it's beautiful. Once everything is in Launchbox, again, it sets it up lovely. You don't have to redo anything. There's a few menus that it does sort of bring up your main. You can just check to make sure it has mapped the controller to your liking. Normally it defaults number 5 on your keyboard to inserting a coin, and number 1 to 1 player start. So they are the actual defaults that MAME goes to. As you can see, I'm having a terrible time playing this game. But this is Ridge Racer, and this is running perfectly well. It's very, very similar to, apart from looking slightly better than the PlayStation counterpart. A fantastic racing game, and one that you can now play on your PC thanks to your MAME install. A lot of the driving games, I haven't got because a lot of them did require a wheel, and I don't have a wheel extension. It might be worth me doing one day. Another game that I wanted to take a look at. This is Winding Heat, and this isn't too bad. Again, nice 3D graphics for its time. You're probably looking at around about sort of 32-bit era here, but I love the sort of colours and the sunset, and it's one of those games, although it's not the greatest controlling game and it is pretty difficult. I still like the sort of depth on it. I still like the graphics on it, the controls on it. Another decent sort of driving game, Winding Heat. I've never actually played this one in the arcades, but yeah, it's one I could probably get into playing again now. I didn't know Aladdin came out in the arcade. Now this version of Aladdin is bloody hard. This is really, really, really hard. Yeah, this is Aladdin, and it's exactly the same as the ports from the Mega Drive, the Super Nintendo, and the Amiga. The Amiga is how I actually enjoyed playing this game the most, but yeah, Aladdin gets killed very easily on this version of the game. I think it might have only come out in Japan, I'm not sure, but this is basically the arcade version of Aladdin.
The world. Humans can do nothing against the power of the evil mutant. The only hope is X-Men.
Go and save the city.
Now we're getting into some of my old favourites. The X-Men arcade game. You can play as several X-Men: Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops. I always like playing as Wolverine. Now this did come out on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and it was available for a limited time. But as arcade beat 'em ups go, they don't get much better than this. This was a fantastic arcade beat 'em up for its time, and now well worth a play. And it's got that infamous quote from Magneto when you get to the island.
X-Men, welcome to die!
Some brilliant bosses, some brilliant boss fights, a nice difference in in levels, very reminiscent of the X-Men comics and the X-Men cartoon show. This is a brilliant game, and if you've never checked this one out before, where have you been? And go check it out like right now, because it is a fantastic game. And you can't do arcade beat-em-ups without the all-time classic. This is Street Fighter 2. Now there are several arcade versions of Street Fighter 2. Hyper Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Breakfast Frosty Cereal Street Fighter 2, Red and Blue Green Street Fighter 2, Naked Street Fighter 2. Getting myself run away here, but as you can tell, there are quite a few Street Fighter 2 versions. Some of them have different characters. Some of just basically tweak the gameplay and tweak different things. This is one of those games. But it's Street Fighter 2 as we remember it, and this is one of the later versions. I believe this is Hyper Street Fighter 2. And just to show you another Street Fighter game, well, this is Street Fighter X2 Plus. This is the more 3D outing that we had. I believe this came out either on the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2. I remember the X games coming out. But again, look how the graphics still hold up today. They are a little bit blocky, yes, but this still maintains that quality, which is your Street Fighter games. It's got the combos in there. It's got the different attacks, different things in there. It's Street Fighter. What else can I say? Street Fighter games are legendary. WrestleFest. Two modes of play. You can play as the in a tag team bout or a Royal Rumble. I am playing a tag team championship here as the immortal Hulk Hogan. What you gonna do, brother? And yes, he's still trying to repair his career, God bless him. Which is recently featured on Monday Night Raw's 30th edition. I am a wrestling fan, and WWE 2K23 is coming out, and I will be featuring that gameplay on this channel because I'm a wrestling fan and I really want to. So we'll be doing a Wrestling Friday show coming up when that comes out in the middle of March. But this is WrestleFest. This was the holy grail of wrestling games back in the day. There is not one console game WWE wise or WWF that matches it. The graphics, the sprites, the fact you can battle outside the ring, the way in which it makes everything look, the different move sets that the different wrestlers had, the fact you could do your finishers, all are 2-button combinations. This was wrestling at its finest back in the day. So I am currently playing as Sergeant Slaughter and Hulk Hogan against the Big Boss Man and I think it's Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm not entirely. Yeah, I think it's Jake the Snake. I just wish there was a really good true to form sort of console port of this game. They did do a version that came out on Android, which had more up to date roster. But no, part of WrestleFest's charm was the fact that it had, the 1990 to 1991 roster. You had Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. That was its charm. That was just what made it what it was. WrestleFest was just a quintessential wrestling game, and I highly recommend playing this one and checking it out. This is the Simpsons arcade game, and it basically I featured this in my 5 Simpsons games you may not have played video, which you can go and check out now after this one. I will leave a link to that at the end of the video, and you want to check out the 5th entry of that game, which is called Eggs for Bart, which is absolutely terrifying. And the other 4 games are like adaptations of Simpsons fictional arcade games. You really want to check those out, guys, and all of them are absolutely free to download, and I show you how to get them, how to install them, etc. in the video. So you want to check that out. This is the Simpsons arcade game. Basically, Maggie has been kidnapped by Mr. Burns, and you've got to fight through each stage, through different goons. You can play as Bart, Homer, Lisa, or Marge. And again, this is a Konami classic. This is a Konami classic beat 'em up. There's not much else I can say about this other than check it out.
Fire! Hang on, April.
And finally, I'm not going to say too much about this game, guys, because a lot of you would have played it, but I know that whenever I heard this in the arcade, that was me with my quarters. I preferred this one more than the sequel, but most people prefer the sequel. This game has so many memories. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I love this game. It's my all-time favorite video game. I'm gonna be that bold and say it is my all-time favorite video game. So I'm gonna play the video out with that, guys. I hope this video has informed and educated you on if you want to check out MAME for yourself, and some great games that worth playing. What games did you used to play in the arcade? What games ate your quarters or your 30 pences or 50 pences back in the day? Let me know in the comment section below. I've been Jared the Blind Gamer. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon in another video. Take care.